All right, to the presidential transition now. The president-elect, Donald Trump, is in Florida getting set to unveil his immigration plan. As many of these mayors you're looking at are sanctuary city mayors, and they've been doubling down on their pledge to keep their cities as so-called sanctuary cities. National Immigration Reform Executive Director Ali Noorani is with us on this question of whether President-elect Trump may be able, Ali, to go around these cities. We've been talking about cutting off federal funding for places like New York. We showed Mayor de Blasio, Mayor Eric Garcetti in Los Angeles and others, and they say they're going to continue to protect that's how they would put it, the immigrant populations in their cities. How's this all going to end up?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me, Colin. What these mayors are doing are actually, they are recommitting themselves and their police departments to their mission of protecting and serving the entirety of their cities. Because as soon as they are in the business of asking immigrants for their immigration status, the public safety of their cities actually diminishes. We've actually talked to a number of law enforcement officials across the country, and they have serious public safety concerns with the federal government mandating the enforcement of immigration law at the local level.
Why is that, by the way? I mean, to interrupt, but it's curious, because some people say, well, you know, if people are here illegally, whether it's federal or local enforcement, you have to enforce the law. So why is there a problem with local enforcement?
So there are two issues for local enforcement. First is, as soon as they are in the business of asking a victim of a crime for their immigration status, that means that victim of that crime, who may be here undocumented, will not then report another crime, which means that the criminal out there who, who knows he or she is, they will prey on that immigrant community and then in the entirety of the city or the town.
So what about someone commits a crime, though? Someone commits a crime, and then you want to know their immigration status or no?
Well, it depends. So if it's a minor infraction, yes, I mean, everybody should be paying paying the correct price for their crime, hands down. If a person has committed
couldn't that price be being deported, possibly?
If that person has committed a violent crime, death, murder, drug dealing, etc., they do not belong in the United States. Full stop. And that they should be
that's what
reported to the federal government.
I know a lot of it gets caught up in rhetoric, right? But that's what President-elect Trump is essentially saying, isn't he, to get these criminals that are also illegal immigrants out of the country. That's essentially, I think, what he's saying.
That's what the challenge here is. We don't exactly know what he is saying. Well, he's throwing around these big terms of criminal aliens. How does he define that? And then at the end of the day, the federal government actually has to provide a warrant or court order to local law enforcement so that local police chief holds that individual. Right now, they're not issuing that warrant or court order. Therefore, local law enforcement are not only undermining the safety of their public, but they're actually getting crosswise with the Constitution, which is not a good place to be as a country.
But your point is these mayors, we've been watching Chicago today, so Mayor Emanuel out there, as I said, Mayor de Blasio here in New York, they are well within their rights. I mean, because it does seem, if you just look in at, you don't know a lot about immigration law, you say, well, they're not enforcing the law. And you're saying that that's not the case.
What I'm saying is that federal immigration law is the responsibility of the federal government to enforce.
Okay.
Local public safety law is the responsibility of local police chiefs and sheriffs and mayors to make sure that those cities are safe. That's the tension. President-elect Trump should be issuing a plan of how he's going to reform the immigration system so that the undocumented are getting right with the law, paying their taxes, and able to get legal status if they have not committed any crimes.
So we're going to hear a lot more about it, especially here in New York, with the president-elect spending so much time here and the mayor making it a big issue. Ali Noorani, thank you, sir. Appreciate your point of view.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Now.